Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Brian.
So, lake level has been a little bit of a challenge again already. We were down to almost 8 inches below pool, and we had shut the gate, and then it came back up 4 inches there towards the end of November. So we've got one gate open about 30 inches right now, and the lake is approximately about 6.5 inches below pool right now. So we're going to continue to do a drawdown, and we're going to try to maintain that as close as we can to 9 inches below pool as we can until March 15th. It's hard to believe, but as we come in this gloomy day, we're only 6 months out from Memorial Day, so less than 6 months from now we'll be enjoying our boats in the lake again. So those of you that need firewood, we did start removing ash trees this week. I know I spoke about that earlier, but we did start this week. So at the west bank, near the dog park, there is some ash logs available, first come, first serve, but I will tell you they're going quick. So we actually took down about 200 trees this week just along the west bank, and we've got more to do there along West Bank Road. So what we're doing is we're removing the ash trees that are close to roadways, close to trails, somewhere that if they would come down that they could impact the visitor. Back in our forested areas, we'll just be letting nature's succession take place. So on a different note, out at Windy Point we've been having some issues. This summer we've had some vandalism, not a lot, but we have had some, and unfortunately late in October, I was notified that some of our flashing lights on Windy Point Pier had been disturbed, and we went out there, and actually somebody had broke all of them. So just what I want to say on that is, if any of you, I mean it's everybody's state park, if anybody ever notices anything suspicious going on, a lot of times you can't get a hold of us if it's late at night, but you can always call the Sheriff's Department, and they'll get a hold of us and let us know what's going on. But keep an eye out, because it's all of us park, and if you see something suspicious, let us know. Unfortunately, what we're going to have to do is we're going to build some extruded or expanded metal cages around those lights to put them back up, but that'll work. So unfortunately, we have to do those things sometimes. So, but I know a lot of you aren't thinking about fishing right now, right? You're thinking about staying home where it's warm and dry. But if you are a fisherman, or if you've got family, friends that are fishermen, it is incredible right now. I was talking to Greg Gass before the meeting. The crappie fishing is just phenomenal. I heard a week ago Wednesday somebody had one that was a serious 2.5 pounds. So I mean, that's a big crappie. So a lot of limits are being caught. I know yesterday Milton and I was taking a tour with the chief of parks, and we went back to Quarter Creek there. What was there, Milton? Probably 20 cars, I'm guessing? Elbow to elbow all the way up. Yeah, so it looked like a Maumee walleye run on Quarter Creek. So, and below the spillway, if you see vehicles down there, we're getting reports they're catching a lot of nice saw guys / walleye below the spillway. So, I was trying to decide what I was going to talk about today. I thought, it's the end of the year, so I thought I'd do a year in review. And a lot of times you start thinking, yeah, we did the oil derrick project, or we did that. Well, I sit down and actually just worked my way around the park and thought about all the things that we've done in 2015 or 2014. So if you bear with me, I know you've heard about some of these, but I just wanted to reflect back on this past year with all of you today. In August was a huge month for us. In August, we took delivery of the Hodag, which is a permanent third dredge here at Grand Lake St. Mary's. Up until this point, we've had 2 dredges permanently here, and we brought in the statewide dredge for a couple of years, but that's the third dredge was delivered in August. You guys heard me talk about the campground. We electrified 14 additional sites that were non-electric, which helps us out because everybody wants electric. We converted 15 sites to full hookup, which we've never had in the state park. We've never had water and sewer available at our sites, and those have been very well received. We renovated the East Bank shelter houses with new partitions, paint. We took out some old windows and put in some glass blocks. At the marina, which I know doesn't mean much to you, but at our marina, the state marina, we removed our underground fuel storage tanks and put an above ground in. And I could just tell you from my perspective, on an operational perspective, that is huge. We secured stone for the fishing access at Anderson's, which we're going to get in place. At the West Bank launch ramp out here, we resealed the parking lots and restriped them. We also out there put up new lighting. We upgraded all the lighting to LED lighting, which in turn saves us energy cost for our operational budget. Has anybody been to Windy Point lately and seen the riprap job we did at Windy Point? I mean, at Windy Point, if anybody's familiar with it, on the east side of the road, when you drive down there and the water's on both sides, it got very narrow. So we actually got some riprap in there and reestablished a nice shoulder on the road. So now when people are fishing, they won't be staying on the asphalt. You have to worry about running into them. So that project was just completed. The Fry's launch ramp down by our office, we expanded that parking lot. We actually rebid out, and a lot of people probably didn't catch this, but we rebid out the State Marina, and it's a 4-year lease, and it had an additional 4 years, but the current operator was wanting a little bit longer term, so we rebid that, and the current operator, Freedom Outdoors, is in there again, and they have an 8-year contract now with a renewal for 4. And if anybody has noticed, they added campers now. They now offer campers, and there's nobody in a close proximity that offers campers. I mean, you have Davis, and you've got Paul Sherry and those, so we've got somebody locally now offering campers for sale and service. The linear aeration was installed at the East Bank Fishing Pond, handicap fishing pond, where we have the kids handicap fishing derby, and that was a donation from the New Knoxville, New Bremen Rotary. The oil derrick reclamation project, Brad and Fatty and all the guys, Tom and all the guys in the lake improvement, everybody was involved with that as well. And of course, the one I always have to touch on is, and you know, we have a lot of special events, but the one event that touches us all is the handicap kids fishing derby. Again, was held again this year. We're making continual improvements to the Windy Point Beach thanks to you guys here at the LIA. And then the purchase of the playground equipment you just seen. As Brian said, we just took delivery of that. And we had that first inaugural Grand Lake Marathon. So, you know, when I put all those on paper, I was like, wow, that is a heck of a year. So what I'd like to do is, all of you in here were involved with that, and I'd like to give you all just a round of applause for helping get all those things accomplished. On the dredge side, Tom's not able to be here today. He took a week off to go deer hunting. So just to summarize the dredge year, it was a challenging year. You guys have all heard Tom speak, and it was a challenging year. And we've talked about it for years. The challenge is always the equipment and then where to put the material. And the challenge this year was the equipment with the statewide traveling dredge. We just had so many issues with it. Basically, it ran for a week and that was it. So, but now we've got the new Hodag in here so we can get that turned around. The dredges were brought in the week of November 17th. Everybody knows why, because on the 21st the lake froze. So, but our cubic yards this year was approximately 232,000 cubic yards, which is down from last year. But next year, I'm looking for us to have a very productive year with that new dredge here now. So our dredge crews are busy. Probably a lot of people wonder, what do they do right now? You know, they're busy winterizing the equipment. They're doing maintenance on the equipment, so it's ready to roll out in the spring. They get involved with removing, like, our floating docks at the East Bank. And they're just doing a lot of equipment, maintenance on equipment. They're getting ready now to start building DMRAs for next year. We're working on finalizing an agreement with a private landowner on the lake. We'll talk about next month, hopefully, once we get that all secured, on another, what's going to be a large DMRA for us. We're going to be placing some riprap over at Cozy Campground over at one of the islands over there that we own. We're finishing up a job there, and then we're going to be doing some riprap at Quarter Creek. So that's what those guys will be doing this winter. We'll be getting prepared for what, like I said, I hope is going to be a very productive 2015 season. So with that, I'll just to ask if anybody's got any questions, anything at all. Everybody wants to go see the game. So, well, with that, I'll wrap up with just saying, you know, I appreciate, my staff appreciates, and the visitors appreciate everything that the Lake Improvement does do for the park. You know, you guys stepping up behind this playground equipment, like Tim said, it's been over 10 years since I've seen new playground equipment come into the park, so it's much appreciated what you're doing there. And I look forward to another great 2015 season. With that, I'll just wrap up with wishing all of you a safe and enjoyable holiday season. Thank you.